Imagine throwing the biggest anniversary party of your life, only to find your wife kissing your best friend in the middle of it. That was my reality. And what I thought would be the happiest night of my marriage turned into the most humiliating betrayal of my life. What happened next destroyed my family forever. My name is Jacob. I'm 35 years old, a father of two, Ben, who's 8, and Mia, who just turned 5. For most of my life, I believed I was a lucky man. I had a beautiful wife, Amanda, who I met in my 20s. We built a home together, raised our children, and shared countless memories. She was my anchor, my best friend, my safe place, or so I thought. Our 10th anniversary felt like a milestone I had to honor. I didn't just want dinner at a restaurant. I wanted unforgettable. I rented a hall, decorated it with fairy lights, hired a caterer, and invited everyone who had ever been part of our journey. My parents, Paul and Karen, were thrilled. They had always bragged that Amanda and I were the perfect couple. Seeing their son, married to his college sweetheart, raising 2 happy kids, it was their dream too. My best friend David was also there. We met in college, 2 broke kids, sharing instant noodles, cramming for exams, talking about girls we'd never get. Over the years, he became more than a friend. He was a brother. When Ben was born, David was the first person at the hospital. When Mia learned to ride a bike, David cheered louder than I did. My kids called him Uncle David. I trusted him with my life. That night, the room was filled with warmth, laughter, clinking glasses, old stories retold. Amanda wore a red dress, her hair swept up, her smile brighter than the fairy lights. When she caught my eye across the room, it felt like we were still in our honeymoon phase. For a moment, I thought I had everything. If only I had seen the cracks in that smile. The evening carried on with food and laughter. Then David stood up to give a toast. Everyone cheered. He was known for his humor, his storytelling. I expected him to roast me with some embarrassing college memory, but his voice trembled as he raised his glass. To Jacob and Amanda, the perfect couple. Amanda, you've brought so much light into his life. Honestly, I don't know what Jacob would do without you. The room erupted in applause. My father clapped with pride. My mother dabbed her eyes. Brooke, my colleague, cheered. Victoria, a close family friend, laughed and clinked her glass. But I stood there frozen. David's eyes lingered on Amanda longer than they should have. Amanda smiled back, but not the smile she gave me. This one was softer, more intimate. My stomach tightened. I brushed it off. Don't be paranoid, Jacob. This is David, your brother. I didn't know it then, but that toast was the first crack in the glass, one that would soon shatter everything. As the night went on, I played the perfect host. I checked on the food, made sure the music was right, introduced old friends. On the surface, I smiled and laughed, but beneath, I kept looking for Amanda. She wasn't where she should have been. Then I saw them, Amanda and David, in the back of the hall. Standing too close, she leaned in, her hand brushing his arm. He tilted his head, his mouth near her ear. When our eyes met, they jerked apart, like guilty teenagers caught sneaking out. Later, I asked Amanda about it. She laughed. We were just catching up, Jacob. Don't make it weird. But her eyes darted away, unable to hold mine. I forced myself to believe her. I had to. It was our anniversary, and I refused to let paranoia ruin it. But my chest was heavy. I knew the look in David's eyes. It wasn't the look of a best friend, because if there was nothing to hide, why did they look so guilty? Halfway through the night, Amanda was gone. I asked Victoria if she'd seen her. She shrugged. Maybe the restroom. But then I realized David was gone too. The music faded into static in my ears. I checked the restroom. Empty. The hallway. Nothing. Then I heard it. Amanda's laugh. Soft. Familiar, too familiar, followed by a sound that ripped through me like a blade, a kiss. And in that moment, I knew my life would never be the same. My hands trembled as I pushed the door open. There they were, Amanda, my wife, David, my best friend. Their bodies tangled, lips pressed in a kiss so deep, so hungry, it left no room for doubt. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't a drunken mistake. This was betrayal in its rawest form. I slammed the door wide. They jumped apart, pale as ghosts. In our anniversary party? With him? My voice cracked with rage. Amanda reached for me. Jacob, please. David looked at the floor, silent, ashamed. And in that instant, Everything I thought I knew about love, trust, and friendship burned to ashes. I should have swallowed the rage, waited until later. But pain doesn't wait. I stormed back into the hall, Amanda and David trailing behind me like shadows of shame. They were together, I shouted. Amanda and David, behind my back, during our anniversary party. Gasps. Glasses shattered. My mother covered her mouth in horror. My father's face hardened into stone. Brooke froze mid-sip. Victoria whispered, "No." Amanda sobbed, clutching my arm. "Please, Jacob. Not here." David muttered, "It was a mistake." That night was supposed to celebrate 10 years of love. Instead, it marked the public death of my marriage. After the guests left, Amanda cornered me in our bedroom, mascara streaking down her cheeks. "It was just a mistake, Jacob. One kiss. That's it. You're the man I love. Please don't throw this away." "One kiss?" My voice shook. "That wasn't a kiss, Amanda. That was passion. That was intimacy." She sobbed harder. "It meant nothing. I was drunk, emotional, caught in the moment." I cut her off. "Then why did he toast you like you were his? Why did your eyes light up for him?" She grew defensive. "Because you've been distant, Jacob. You've been so focused on work, on the kids, on everything but me." David was there. He listened. My jaw clenched. There it was, the excuse. The blame shifted onto me. She grabbed my hands, desperate. "Think of Ben and Mia. Think of our family. Please, don't destroy everything over one stupid mistake." But the truth was, she had already destroyed it. I had already lost her. The next day, David showed up at my door. His face was pale, his eyes bloodshot. "I'm sorry, Jacob. We've been talking, confiding. It went too far, but we never stop." My voice was ice. "How long?" "Months," he admitted, his voice breaking. My chest caved in. Months of lies. Months of stolen moments behind my back. He swore they never slept together, but it didn't matter. He had shattered me. I thought of all the times I invited him over, trusted him with my kids, let him sit at my table, and all the while, he was stealing my wife. I threw him out of my house, out of my life. But no matter how far I threw him, the damage was already carved into my soul. Ben and Mia didn't understand, but they felt it. One night Ben asked, "Daddy, why are you mad at Mommy?" His big brown eyes looked at me with confusion that shattered me more than Amanda's betrayal. Mia clung to Amanda, crying whenever I left the room. "Don't go, Daddy," she sobbed. Amanda begged me to try counseling. "Please, Jacob, don't break the family apart. Do it for them." But it wasn't me who broke it. It was her. Her and David. Sometimes betrayal doesn't just break hearts, it breaks children too. Weeks passed. The whispers in town didn't fade. My parents were devastated. Friends kept their distance. Amanda begged daily, promising, crying, even blaming me. If you had paid more attention, this never would have happened. But trust, once shattered, doesn't glue back together. So I made my choice. I filed for divorce. Amanda called me cruel, said I was destroying the family. But I wasn't the one who kissed someone else in the shadows of our anniversary party. The kids split their time between us. Every goodbye broke me, but staying would have broken them more. Now, I live with scars, but also with freedom. Because sometimes, the hardest decision isn't walking away, it's realizing love isn't enough.
Some betrayals don't happen in the shadows, they happen right in front of everyone you love. Jacob thought he was celebrating 10 years of marriage, but instead, he was watching it die. His wife blamed him. His best friend begged. But in the end, Jacob had to choose between living a lie or living free. What would you do if your best friend and your partner betrayed you on the same night? Would you forgive or would you walk away? Let us know in the comments. And if this story broke your heart, the next one will leave you speechless. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Until then, remember, sometimes it isn't the betrayal that destroys you, it's believing the excuses that follow.